Listen, don't scroll away. Take a moment and really stay with this. Because this might be the most uncomfortable truth you'll hear today. Not because it's complicated, but because it's simple and true. You don't need more motivation. You don't need more inspiration. You don't need another video to hype you up. What you need is discipline. And I know that's not what you want to hear. Because discipline is not exciting. Discipline is not emotional. Discipline is not comfortable. But discipline is what actually changes your life. Because right now, your life is not stuck because you're unlucky. It's stuck because you keep breaking promises to yourself. Think about that for a second. Every time you say, "I'll start tomorrow," "I'll do it later," "I'm not in the mood right now," you are slowly teaching yourself not to trust yourself. And that is where the real problem begins. Because if you cannot trust yourself, you cannot rely on yourself. And if you cannot rely on yourself, you will always feel stuck. And let me prove it to you. That moment your alarm rings in the morning, and you open your eyes, half tired, half aware. You know exactly what you should do. But instead, you reach for your phone. Or you tell yourself, "Just 5 more minutes." That moment may feel small. But it is not small. That moment is a decision. And that decision, repeated over time, is shaping your entire life. Because your life is not built in big dramatic moments. It is built in small repeated decisions that seem insignificant at the time, but accumulate into everything you become. And until that changes, nothing else will. 1. Why this is your real problem. Most people misunderstand their own situation. They believe their problem is external. They say things like, "I don't have enough money. I don't have opportunities. People around me are holding me back." And while those things may feel real, they are not the root problem. Because be honest with yourself. If everything you think you need was given to you right now, would your life actually change? Or would your habits remain the same? Would you suddenly become consistent? Would you suddenly stop procrastinating? Would you suddenly become disciplined? Or would you slowly fall back into the same patterns? Still delaying. Still avoiding. Still choosing comfort when things get difficult. That's the real issue. Your life is not controlled by what you have. It is controlled by what you do repeatedly. Your habits. The way you wake up. The way you structure your day. The way you talk to yourself when things get hard. The way you respond to pressure. The way you act when no one is watching. All of it is governed by discipline. And when discipline is weak, everything else becomes unstable. Not because you are incapable of doing better, but because you are inconsistent. And inconsistency destroys progress. Because success is not built on occasional effort. It is built on repeated effort over time. 2. The truth about your current life. Now look at your life carefully. Not emotionally. Logically. Everything you have right now. Your current situation. Your current level. Your current results. They were not created overnight. They were built slowly. Through small decisions. Through daily habits. Through invisible patterns that repeated over and over again. Let's break it down clearly. Every time you delayed something important. Every time you chose distraction over focus. Every time you avoided something uncomfortable. You were making deposits into your current reality. Not once, but repeatedly. Day after day. And that's why your life looks the way it does today. Not because of one big mistake, but because of many small ones that added up. Let me show you something real. You sit with your phone, scrolling, telling yourself you'll start soon. But deep down, you already know you're lying to yourself. Not to others, but to yourself. And that's more dangerous. Because self-deception slowly weakens your standards. Every time you say, "I'll start tomorrow," "I'll do it later," "I'm just tired today," you are reinforcing a habit of avoidance. and avoidance becomes your default behavior. So ask yourself honestly, are your daily actions building the life you want? Or are they maintaining the life you're trying to escape? Because if nothing changes in your daily behavior, nothing will change in your life. 3. Why you can't change. Now here's the part most people don't want to face. You already know what to do. You know you should wake up earlier. You know you should stay focused. You know you should be more consistent. You know you should stop wasting time. You've heard it before. Probably many times. So the question is not knowledge. The question is execution. Why aren't you doing it? The answer is simple. Because it's uncomfortable. Growth requires discomfort. Discipline requires sacrifice. Focus requires effort. And most people spend their entire lives avoiding discomfort. They choose what feels easy instead of what is right. They choose short-term comfort over long-term progress. And that becomes a pattern. That's the trap. Because the more you avoid discomfort, the weaker you become at handling it. And the weaker you become, the more you avoid it. It becomes a cycle. And that cycle keeps you stuck. So no, you're not stuck because you are lazy. You're stuck because you've trained yourself to avoid discomfort. 4. Discipline versus motivation. Motivation feels powerful. It gives you energy. It makes you feel inspired. It makes you believe you can change instantly. But motivation is emotional. And emotions change. Motivation comes and goes. That's why some days you feel unstoppable. And other days you feel completely unmotivated. And when motivation disappears, most people stop. They pause their progress. They delay their goals. They wait until they feel ready again. And that's where they fail. Because success does not depend on how motivated you feel. It depends on what you do when you don't feel motivated. That's where discipline comes in. Discipline is not emotional. Discipline is structural. It doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It shows up regardless. When you're tired, discipline shows up. When you're stressed, discipline shows up. When you don't feel like it, discipline still shows up. Motivation helps you start. But discipline keeps you going. And what truly builds success is consistency over time. Not intensity for a short period. 5. The comfort trap. Comfort is dangerous. Not because it hurts you immediately, but because it slowly weakens you over time. Comfort feels good in the moment. It tells you, relax, take it easy, you deserve a break, skip today, you'll start tomorrow. And those thoughts seem harmless. But repeated over time, they reshape your behavior. You stop pushing yourself. You stop challenging yourself. You stop growing. Your standards drop. Your hunger fades. Your urgency disappears. And slowly, you become comfortable being average. Then one day, you look at your life and realize you are far from where you thought you would be. Not because it was impossible, but because you stopped putting in the effort required to get there. Comfort didn't destroy your life overnight. It slowly replaced your discipline. 6. The war within you. Inside you, there is a constant battle. Two versions of yourself. One version wants growth. It wants success. It wants progress. It wants discipline. It wants to improve. The other version wants comfort. It wants ease. It wants relaxation. It wants excuses. It wants shortcuts. And every single day, these two versions compete. When your alarm rings, they compete. When you need to work, they compete. When you feel tired, they compete. When things get difficult, they compete. And the version you feed is the version that wins. If you choose discipline repeatedly, you strengthen the disciplined version. If you choose comfort repeatedly, you strengthen the comfortable version. So the real question is not who you are. The real question is, which version are you becoming? 7. How to build discipline. Most people try to change everything at once. They decide to completely transform their lives overnight. New routine, new habits, new identity. And when they fail, they quit. Because it was too much at once. Real change is not dramatic. It is simple. It starts small. Wake up a little earlier. Do one task you've been avoiding. Finish something you started. Stay focused a little longer than yesterday. Even when it feels uncomfortable. Especially when it feels uncomfortable. Because every time you choose discipline over comfort, you are training your mind. You are building mental strength. You are reinforcing self-control. And over time, these small actions accumulate. And they begin to redefine who you are. 8. The turning point. There will come a moment in your life. A quiet moment. Where everything becomes clear. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to fix your life. No one is coming to do the work for you. And that realization can feel heavy. But it can also be powerful. Because in that moment, you stop waiting. You stop depending. You stop blaming. And you take responsibility. And when you take responsibility, you take control. That is the turning point. Before you leave this video, listen carefully. If this message hit you, don't just watch it and move on. Do something with it. Because watching alone won't change your life. But applying even one part of this will. So here's what you should do right now. Take one thing you've been avoiding. And commit to doing it today. Not tomorrow. Not later. Today. Write it down. Act on it. No excuses. And if you're serious about changing your life, start by showing up for yourself consistently. Because discipline is not built in one day. It's built in the moments where you choose action over comfort. If you found value in this video, support the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing. It helps this message reach more people who need it. And let me ask you something. What is one habit you know you need to fix starting today? Drop it in the comments. Hold yourself accountable. Because the moment you take responsibility, your life starts to change. Stay disciplined. Stay consistent. And take control of your life.